the last three songs that we heard, these wonderful artists are represented in Colorado by Maple Street Music Agency. We're very honored. It's Celeste and Sara Durnall. Welcome you two.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We appreciate it, Vince.
This is really great. You have a great assortment of artists that you guys are working with. Booking management agency for musicians, and you do a lot of different things helping out the musicians that you work with.
We do, absolutely. In addition to booking and management, we do a lot of consulting, just on a wide variety of artist genres and a mix of them. As far as the booking and management, we do have an excellent curated roster that we book anywhere from locally to internationally.
Yeah, and then we, in terms of consulting, we help artists with their overall marketing packages, CD release strategies, radio and print media promotion, just overall professional development and industry education, which is one of the things we are excited to do in the community, is to provide some workshops and seminars and to industry professionals and others who are interested.
And the fact that you just moved into the music district, how perfect is that?
Right. So what a beautiful facility. We're really excited to collaborate with them and hopefully bring those workshops and seminars there. And part of what we do in service to the community, which is part of our agreement there, is to donate some time. So we will be working with some folks who otherwise might not be able to afford consulting. So we will be committed to giving back to the community in that way through the music district.
And it is exciting to be able to accomplish so many of our goals and still be able to give back locally. Even though we're working as far as Europe, the UK, it is important to us to stay pretty grounded locally, make sure that we're still supporting what's going on here while we're taking over the world.
Yeah, one of our big goals for our artists in this agency is to get them out of Fort Collins, out of Colorado. So Carrie obviously has been doing that for quite a while, touring nationally and internationally, and we would like to use that model to get our other artists out of Dodge, as they say, and hopefully to Europe. And this last go-around in Europe, Carrie and I were there for 35 days, 9 countries, I think 18 dates, something like that, and reconnected with an old tour manager that Carrie had touring with the Putafe Trio, and he and I are collaborating and hoping that we can create an extension of Maple Street music on the European side, and he's based in Montpellier, France. He also has a recording studio there, and so that's something new in the works for us.
There's endless possibilities.
There really are, and I think that when you that's good.
Sorry.
When you have people that know of Carrie's music, for example, literally in around the world, it just changes the perception of what's possible as an artist. It's inherent that you're going to really expand the people that know about his music and that want to come see him play.
Mm-hmm. And Jeff Finland's another one doing that. He gets over to Europe at least twice a year, and is the reviews that roll in on him, he's just a completely different breed of musician. There's just nowhere he fits in as far as one word. His genre has to be like 3 full sentences. But he's amazing, and really his international presence trumps his stateside one. So, we're trying to get everybody very balanced.
Finland just had a Warner Brothers retrospective release in Europe. So this is a great time for him there. There's a lot of PR and there's some buzz going on, and certainly a benefit to him, but also a benefit to Maple Street Music and our other artists. And when one artist does something big like that or has a lot of success and a successful tour, then all the artists benefit from that, because it just deepens our connection and our name in those communities. And so we get to say, hey, you did this great European tour with Jeff Finland. How about Jalon Crossland? Right? Mm-hmm. How about Maxwell Mudd? So, yeah,
And it goes further into then, that bleeds on over into the music district. It bleeds on into Fort Collins. And hey, look at what Colorado in the United States is putting out. So
Exciting.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the other artists that are. So you have a pretty good roster going.
we do. So we've mentioned Kerry Morin, obviously. His other project, Young Ancients, they're so popular around. They're also with Steve Amadei and John Magny. So we do some stuff with them, also with Solomon Cook. Obviously, we've got Jalon Crossland, who is just a Wyoming superstar. It's really fun to get him out into other regions. Obviously, Jeff Finland. We are also working with Maxwell Mudd that you mentioned. They are really the only up-and-coming band that we've got on the roster. Also nurturing Brian Kittrell, the lead man from Maxwell Mudd, establishing him as quite the solo artist as well.
And just for clarification, Solomon Cook would be the duo with Rob Solomon and Tim Cook of the Subdudes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
These are like iconic and upcoming iconic groups that you're really working with here.
We have some other artists in mind down the road, but our goal is to grow slowly, intentionally, consistently, make sure that the artists that are in our roster currently are viable and doing well before we add other artists to the roster. But we have some things in the works that will be fun.
It's really cool.
We can't really disclose yet, but
Yes, we have all sorts of secrets.
So Celeste and Sara, you two, it's an interesting story how you kind of connected as now working together.
It started off really as becoming a real Kerry Morin fan. Celeste and I had met, I believe, at a FOCO MX education session. And then, I had kind of heard of Kerry Morin, so I tuned in. My husband absolutely loved him. We started going to shows, and Celeste and I kind of from across the room kept observing each other a little bit.
she stalked me.
I did.
Let's just get this right.
Yeah, but who asked who out for coffee? Come on now.
Oh.
And that was kind of all she wrote. We realized pretty quickly within a few meetings that we're such a yin yang relationship, really complement each other. Very different styles, and just I'm not going to say we're really different people, but just it works really really well. We have a lot of the same goals, a lot of the same principles and morals, and all of that good stuff, and just bring a lot of things together.
Yeah, I think our skill sets really complement one another. I used to have a boss that would quote some famous business dude. You don't want to work with somebody that has all the same skill sets you do. You don't want to have somebody in your same image, because that's replicating, and that's kind of foolish. So the thing that works well for Sara and I is I'm a big picture thinker, and she's an amazing businesswoman, and when we work together, I think we cover all the details pretty well.
What I enjoy, too, is this partnership. We're trying to stay very grounded, very humble. The things that we don't know how to do, we're seeking it out and seeing if we can't get rounded instead of muddling through, pretending we know what we're doing. It's really become pretty magical. It's really taken off a little quicker than we planned or possibly even wanted, but we're going with it.
So Sara was working a lot on the local, regional level, and keeping those connections. And of course, I'm always jetting off to here and there and everywhere with Kerry. And my focus is really more national and international, and just continually developing those relationships and partnerships, and trying to attend professional conferences like Folk Alliance International and the Americana Organization's annual conference, and just creating those connections with all those people in the business, and making sure they know who we are. And
we're about to pay it forward big time. We've got a couple of interns that we're just so excited about. Really, really great CSU students, and see if we can't pass on some of the things that we already have figured out.
It's really incredible.
Yep.
Maple Street Music Agency, contactus.com is the website, and you're going to be available for people to connect with you over in the Music District.
Absolutely.
Which is great, and really great music that you're representing, and upping the bar at least a few notches for the professionalism of Fort Collins, really being the epicenter of a lot of artistic endeavors, and it's really exciting to have you over there for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
very
wanted
much.
to reiterate, too, that even though we may not be able to manage a particular artist, we really are invested in helping them through our consulting services. And so if folks really are interested in getting a leg up and having somebody help them figure out what the next steps are, putting together a plan for becoming tour ready and all of that, don't hesitate to give us a call, because we'd love to help. We'd love to help out.
We are very, very dedicated to whatever somebody wants to do to be able to make a living at their art. It's not an easy thing to do. The industry's not what it used to be. So it's very rewarding every time we see some success.
Let's wrap up by talking about the Staging Youth Showcase.
The Staging Youth Showcase is something I brought from my previous company, 16th Note, and started with the idea that there's so many students that by the time they get to high school are just, sick of the parochial approach to music, and they think that's it. Inspired by my son, and just a great cellist, but the orchestra environment, the fact that he couldn't choose music that resonated with him to perform. Anyway, so it just it spawned this great showcase. It's about to be in its third year. It's going to be April 23rd in 2017. And basically what we do is we pair a high school student who is what I say is just not so sure where music fits in their lives, and we pair them with a local mentor. So, for example, Maxwell Mudd has brought on a couple of students over the last 2 years, and they mentor them for anywhere up to four months to a few weeks, and bring them on stage at a big showcase at the Aggie. So these kids, from one song to, one kid just killed it and ended up playing the whole set for a band called Attack on Venus. In fact, they asked him to join the band about 6 months ago. So fantastic stuff. What makes it really unique is we also bring on mentors for videography, for photography, for sound engineer. I have an apprentice who is learning how to promote shows. He's about to be in the third year with me. It's really unique. We bring in also a chamber group that plays rock and roll music so that people can see, hey, if I'm going to stick with my viola, I'm not limited to the music choice. So that's coming up, and it's something that I was so pleased that Celeste wanted to continue with.
I saw Eli Slocum with Blue Grama
Yes.
at the last one, and that was really incredible. And actually, the song that we started out the the afternoon mix here, Rock Slide, which was on the Rise CD, he performed that with the band, and that was a seminal moment. It was I'll never forget that.
Yeah, it was neat. And what I liked about the way Blue Grama worked with Eli is they made him do kind of the undesirable work too. That's what we're showing these kids, is it's not about being on stage. They made him sell the tickets. They made him work the merchandise, sit there and sell the CDs and the T-shirts, and they made sure that he was doing everything he was supposed to do to promote the show, and that was the whole point. They sent him the emails from the venue saying, hey, are you doing what you need to do? And that's a whole nother side of it that's coming out of the showcase. That's the venues are on board, sponsors are super generous with it because it's just unique enough.
Really valuable what the two of you are doing. Really want to
thank you,
Sarah, Celeste. It's incredible what you guys are doing. So perfect timing with the Music District coming up as well. So you can be found over at the Music District, 619 South College area over there, and MapleStreetMusicAgency.com, your website. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thanks for having us. Really
Thank
appreciate
you, Vincent,
it.
Again, we appreciate it.
And we're going to hear some music now from one of your clientele, Maxwell Mudd, on KRFC's Afternoon Mix.